Hello everyone, today, let's talk about a very interesting story. Think about it. Is it possible for a gesture as simple as can be to truly change a person's destiny forever? The ancient story we are going to tell today is about how a joyful heart created a miracle. Let's take a look together. Alright, let's start by reflecting on this question. Do you believe that an act which seems insignificant to us, or even a thought that flashes through our minds, can produce a power that influences the future for as long as hundreds of millions of years? Wow, does that sound a bit incredible? But our story today is meant to explore exactly this possibility. The story took place in the city of Shravasti in ancient India. At that time, there was a very wealthy Brahmin benefactor. He was driving a carriage filled with items for almsgiving, preparing to enter the city to make offerings. It sounds like a morning that couldn't be more ordinary, right? But at that moment, he saw the Buddha walking in the city from a distance. According to the records in the sutras, the Buddha's appearance was extremely solemn, radiating a kind of peace and power that is difficult to describe with words. This moment of encounter became the starting point that changed everything. The Brahmin's reaction was not just the simple respect we usually see people show a saint. Now a deeper and more intense change occurred within his heart. And this change is the key to the entire story. Take a look at this sentence. It can be said to be the core of the whole story. He did not feel awe, nor was he curious. Instead, he instantly gave rise to an immense joyful heart. This is a very pure and strong joy from the depths of the heart. Just like the spontaneous happiness we feel when we see something extremely beautiful. Driven by this incredibly strong joyful heart, what did he do? Actually, it was very simple. He stepped forward and respectfully circled the Buddha 3 times to the right, and then he continued on his way to go about his own business. You see, throughout the whole process, he didn't say a single word. There was only this one pure action. The Brahmin left just like that. But he had no idea that his simple gesture had triggered a series of wild, virtually cosmic reactions. And all of this began with a smile from the Buddha. When the Buddha smiled, he emitted rays of light in 4 colors: yellow, white, red, and blue. This light reached upward to illuminate the heavens, and downward it even penetrated into the hells. As a result, those sentient beings suffering in the freezing hells instantly felt warmth, while those in the scorching hells felt a sense of coolness. Even more miraculous, the beings in the heavenly realms heard the Buddha's teachings because of this light. At that time, the Buddha's disciple Ananda saw this sight. He knew that the Buddha would never smile and emit light without a reason. There must be a special cause behind it. So, he stepped forward and respectfully asked the Buddha. The Buddha's answer revealed a stunning prophecy spanning many trillions of years. This part is very interesting. It seems to reveal a language of light. According to the records, which part of the body the Buddha's light eventually returns to foretells a different future. In our story today, that light finally returns to the white hair mark between the Buddha's eyebrows. This represents a prophecy regarding the state of a Pratyekabuddha. So, what does Pratyekabuddha mean? Simply put, it is a sage who awakens alone. They attain enlightenment by using their own wisdom to observe the causes and conditions of the world. But unlike a Buddha, they usually do not establish a religious order or teach sentient beings extensively. The Buddha then prophesied the Brahman's future, just because of that circumambulation filled with a joyful heart. For the next 13 great kalpas, what is the concept of a great kalpa? In Buddhism, it is a super long unit of time used to calculate the formation, existence, destruction, and emptiness of the universe. In short, during such a long time, he would never fall into the evil realms. Moreover, he would enjoy blessings in the human and heavenly realms. Finally, in the last lifetime of his existence, he would live the home life and realize the fruit of a Pratyekabuddha. His title would be named Well Able to Circle. You see, isn't that very interesting? Hearing this, we will surely want to ask, why? Why could he gain such inconceivable retribution just by circling 3 times? What secret is hidden inside? Let us keep watching. This core issue is very clear. The external behavior was the ritual of circling 3 times. But the true source driving this behavior was that immense joyful heart that he simply could not suppress. In Buddhist philosophy, the value of an action, which is what we often call merit, depends to a large extent on the thought or intention behind it. Masters who later explained the story also specifically emphasized this point. They said the key to merit does not actually lie in the act of circling the Buddha itself, but in the fact that the Brahman gave rise to an immense joyful heart. It was precisely this pure joy, which sought no reward, and this pure intention that resonated with the Buddha's compassionate vows, thereby creating this inconceivable result. Alright, now that we understand the principle that intention is more important than form, what inspiration can this ancient story bring to us living today? This story tells us at least three things. First, a sincere heart has power that far exceeds any complex ritual. Second, a pure moment of joy from the heart possesses immense spiritual value in itself. And the most important point is that what ultimately determines the meaning of our actions is not the behavior itself, but our heart. So, at the end of this sharing, I want to leave you with a question that we can reflect on together. In your daily life, whether it's seeing a beautiful landscape, hearing moving music, or spending time with the people you love, is there anything that allows you to feel that pure and immense joy without any calculation? Perhaps that is exactly the source of power in our lives.